I'm in my Ed Hardy shirt from my Stefan from SNL costume from like 3-4 years ago, and my Minion winter PJs. I'm very cozy. Don't mind this beautiful handmade wood table just sitting on this couch. We are still in the process of unpacking from our move, and I am having 70% of my supposed sodium intake through some instant udon that I don't know. I don't really eat instant noodles very much. I don't really crave them. Like, I'd rather just eat, like, I don't know, actually. I was planning on eating toast, and then I was like, I don't think that even is enough right now. It is like 12:42, I think, a.m. I feel like I'm gonna be eating in a lot of these vlogs. Yeah, today is Wednesday. Work was busy, but I was really productive, and I got my mix back, my third round of mix back from my mixing engineer, and I think it's done. I couldn't figure out, like, there was a part in the middle of the song that I was like, maybe there needs to be more of a focus on one element as opposed to all of the other sounds happening. And then I went to studio time after work today, to Mikey's place to work, essentially just finish this other song. It's called See Me Better. The one that I'm working on, that I'm mixing, is called Essex Street, which is fire. Honestly, not to toot my own horn, but I produced it all myself, and it's one of the few in the album that I made from scratch. And when I tell you, it was kind of a painful process of forcing myself to work on something every day, like days straight. I used to do that so much in college. Like, my routine was so, I feel like I was more locked in with music in college, and then now I'm like learning how to be more intentional about my music practice, and when I'm on a break, really be on a break, and when I'm not, you know, I don't know where to go with that thought. Honestly, I'm so tired, but I wanted to make this video just to chat and eat dinner together. If you're having a snack, or maybe it's breakfast time for you. I always watch videos while I eat, so maybe I'm gonna start making videos while I eat. It was so weird to leave my house. Like, I didn't go outside at all today, and working from home, I have that, like, the privilege of being able to be in the comfort of my own home, but I do start getting stir crazy. That's probably why I've been making these vlogs. And winter is just getting to me, honestly. I just feel so, it's not just like physically chopped. I just, you know, the feeling of when you're wearing comfy pants for too long and you're just like, ugh, like you just want to like you feel horrible. Like, I notice when I am wearing uncomfortable clothes, I'm more productive. For example, when I'm cleaning, I feel I have to have my hair tied a certain way or something so that my brain just locks in. Yeah, I don't know. I plan on going to work in person tomorrow because I need to feel like a person. I need to be perceived, and I need to have some social interaction. But anyways, I went to the studio after work today, and I'm really proud of myself because I never feel like it. I never feel like going. But it went really well. All I had to do was track violin, so it was really just for a total of 4 tracks that I recorded, that Mikey helped me record on violin. And honestly, I low-key owed that to him maybe 2 months ago. But Mikey's great. He's very patient as a producer, and I feel like I just really had to take a break for a bit. So yeah, it was awesome because I kept trying to insist on recording the violins myself. I like recording my own stuff. I like recording my vocals. I prefer to record my own vocals at home. And I've been self-recording for 10 years now, so I know what works for me. But it's something so nice about just going to the studio and having someone set up the mics for you and just click you in and comp everything. Like, it was very efficient, and it was so nice to catch up with him. I hadn't gone to work with him in probably at least 2 months or more. So it was really nice to see him, and he doesn't live that far, which is great. But the walk to and from his place was so strange because I was just like looking around, and I'm like, wow, I feel like I haven't been outside in a million years, which isn't true, but I feel like time is so weird. Also, my new place is a lot more comfortable than my last place, so I really am enjoying staying home. I'm enjoying the space that I get. I'm enjoying the comfort that I've had just being here. And yeah, so it was weird to be outside and be out at an odd hour. But yeah, I was just looking around at the buildings and stuff and being like, whoa. Yeah, so clearly I need to be outside more. And I think something that's interesting, and you might have the same train of thought maybe, when I think about making plans, I think, oh, okay, that's a few hours. I'm always thinking about when I can go home. Is that normal? I don't know, and that makes me feel weird. I don't like that. But I don't know, it's a practice of me just being present. Today, for example, I was really tired. Work was just a lot, and I don't know, I also had a kind of chaotic day yesterday, and that energy just spilled over to today. And yeah, after a long day, you think, if I go out, or how the way I think is, I go out, I think of it in like hours, and I'm like, okay, like how many hours am I gonna be out, and then I'm gonna go home. I don't know if people do that, but I'm just very like, I can be really choosy about how I use my time, especially after work. And I just today like went to the studio. I'm trying not to say like so much. That's why I'm stuttering, because I'm trying not to say like so much. And I'm remembering that time is not always linear, right? So you might think, when you go to, this might be so obvious, but it takes me, I have to remind myself this all the time. You might go out and maybe you'll be tired after, being out for a few hours, but maybe the conversations you had, or the experience you had spending time with people or working on your passion project can give you energy, because you are thinking a different way, and it can give you more inspiration, to I don't know what point I'm trying to make right now. I feel like I've also in my vlogs been talking about the same thing over and over again, and I need to change it up. But all that to say is time isn't linear. Maybe an hour or two doing one thing will feel like, you know, what am I trying to say? It's too late. Why am I making this vlog so late? Anyways, the studio time was worthwhile. That's all I'm going to say. Tomorrow I'm going to the office, and then I'm gonna go home and then try to go to this thing because Martin is gonna be there. And for those of you who know, you know, I'm not even gonna elaborate. Yeah, apparently he'll be DJing. And I just haven't gone out in so long. It's winter. I just feel so cooped up. Which is fine. But yeah, I just want to go outside. I almost posted a story. I think I might still, but I was just gonna caption it like went outside today and planning to go outside tomorrow. Because truly, winter is just getting to me. What else? Something random. On my walk home, was listening to Orange Soda by Baby Keem, and I don't know, lately, or not even lately, in general, in the past, at least, I want to say 2 years, I stopped making monthly playlists. I used to be someone, ever since 2012 probably, I would make playlists every month, and it would perfectly, my tastes would switch every month. So it worked out where I could create a playlist for the month and then hang on to that for a month, and then for some reason I was just ready for a new playlist every month. It just kind of worked out that way in general. But ever since I started taking ADHD meds, which changed my life, by the way, I now just think of whenever I think of a song that I want to listen to, I just search it up and listen to it. And then I'll cue stuff, and obviously, you know, certain situations I'll have playlists, but I just quite literally look up the song that I feel like listening to most of the time. I probably do that like many times a day. And lately, last night, I was listening to Caroline Polachek. I haven't listened to her in a long time. I just wore out her albums, and I love that feeling of coming back to something really, you know, years later. So I've been listening to that, and then yeah, I just listened to Orange Soda really randomly, also right after my studio time, and my song that I'm working on is not, obviously it's indie, so I don't know. So when I crave a song, I just play it, and I was just listening to that on my way home in this winter weather, and it just reminded me of college and a simpler time. I had my car the last 2 years of college, and I would pick up my friends and blast that song and Blade, Cowboy Digital, like Drain Gang, and oh my god, Pure Born. I was listening to so much Pure Born too, and I've been listening to that randomly. Like, I don't know, music is amazing. We love music. Yeah, anyways, so Valentine's Day is this weekend. I'm excited because my friend Yessie is having a Valentine's Day kind of party, and at first I was like, why are we doing a Valentine's Day party? Like, obviously people are gonna have plans and stuff, but it's kind of cute because also Sinai could not find reservations anywhere, and I don't mind. I'm not someone who's gonna be mad because there wasn't a reservation put in place a month before Valentine's Day. I'm not. I know that it's not out of like not caring. We've both been super busy, and yeah, I don't know. I don't really care. We decided that we're going to the party, and then he has a surprise planned for that day too, so I'm excited. But I was gonna show you. So I gave me my gift early because I think he couldn't resist, and I don't want to flex on everyone, but he got me these. They're purple, and I really like them. I've been using them. And I got him these glasses, these really cute glasses. We went to Gentle Monster the other day when Mary visited, and yeah, and he said he really wanted them, so I got them for him. And I wish I had it in front of me, but I've been saving this card that I bought in a local little gift shop, and it looks like a ticket, like a parking ticket. So I plan to, I'm like, I hope he doesn't hear. I plan to put it on his car, on Valentine's Day. Cause it's kind of a thing, or it was a thing last year where he'd always get parking tickets. So I thought that would be funny, to save for Valentine's Day. I'm so sorry if it's disgusting for you to watch me eat like this. I just wanted to make a video. Thanks for the sweet comments so far. I just want this to be a little hobby. I might stop doing this. You know, I might decide I don't want to do this anymore, but it's fun. I just be talking to myself. I actually do this. I don't know if you do this, but during very hard times, but also just transitional times in my life, I will make a video on my MacBook and just talk to myself or talk to my future self about what I'm thinking at that very moment and where I hope to be in the future and stuff. And I find that very insightful. And maybe I'll look back at these, or maybe I won't, and maybe I'll just cringe. Maybe I won't even watch these back. I think it's part of the thrill, honestly. And yeah, I mean, obviously I'm worried that some people will watch this and judge me or assume that they know what I'm like or who I am just from these vlogs. And I guess there's some truth to that, obviously, but I kind of don't care. I think that's the thing. I either care too much or I don't care at all. And this is a theme. I've talked about this, but so I don't know. If you're watching, if you like this, I'm glad you do. And if you don't, just, just don't. This is just like, I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I don't know. Anyways, tomorrow, this Friday, doing a little Galentine's at Soph's place. We're gonna make martinis. We've been wanting to make these dirty martinis, extra dirty martinis, I feel like forever, but it's probably, we rain checked, I think last week, so it's only been a few days, but I've never craved a drink, like an alcoholic drink, until I started drinking martinis. I know, maybe this is so basic. Obviously, it's really good. I don't know. I think most people do most people like dirty martinis? It's just olives. Olives are so good. So we're doing that on Friday. I want to watch a rom-com. We're gonna try to do, I have these really cute, this cute star mold, I think I got from Daiso, and we're gonna try to make vegan jello shots because I have agar-agar powder. So we're gonna do that. I have some edible glitter too, so we're gonna make some, I think we're gonna make some jello shots for fun. We'll see where we get to, but yeah, I'm excited. And also earlier that day we're getting piercings, so I'm excited. I'm really excited about these songs, the one that I worked on today and the one that's being mixed. Essex Street, I think, I don't know, I'm kind of, you know when you make something and you're like, once that's out, it's like, y'all know who I am, this is what I'm about. And I think the amazing thing about art is, you know, I get discouraged a lot of the time, or I'm like, oh, what's the point? Is this even worth doing? Why am I even doing this? And I think for me, it's really about being understood. And maybe that's also why I'm making these vlogs. But this song, and you know, whenever you make a piece of art that you're really proud of and really excited about, and you put it out, it's really just updating people. Like, this is who I am lately. You know, this is like the latest of me, of like how I feel. And you can't always say that about a piece of art. Of course, some things don't feel as relevant to you in that moment, even if, you know, you still love that song. Maybe you've been working on it for years and you're just like, all right, I just have to put it out, but I don't really feel like this anymore, which is also valid, and that happens to me too. I think a lot of the songs will be like that when I release them, but this song is really what I'm about lately. It just feels like me in a song, truly. And that's like, that's always the goal with music and art, right? Is you have your vision and you have who you feel like you are, and you want to get as one-to-one as possible with the vision and like what you hoped the product would be. And I think for this song, it's like almost one-to-one. I've achieved that. Some of the songs are not like that. It kind of became something else, and I'm happy with it. You know, maybe some other people, when that happens, they decide, okay, I want to can it and try to produce the whole thing again or restart it. But I'm kind of at this point where, not that I don't want to perfect it and make it as beautiful as possible, but I think, for example, the song I worked on today with Mikey, it's called See Me Better, and the vocals are, typically when you have harmonies with your vocals, like, you will want to record all of them separately, so when they're mixed, you can hear, you know, one harmony here and then one harmony there and then the main vocals here, if that makes sense. You can see it visually. But the vocals in that track, I recorded it. It's essentially scratch vocals. I just decided, you know, I'm gonna plug in my TC Helicon pedal and sing into it and make it really analog, and, you know, basically set up the machine so that the harmonies are just generating as I'm singing. But I never planned on it to be the final vocals in the song. And then today I was just listening to it and I'm like, it's good, like, it's fine. It's fine, like, I'm not settling. I'm very conscious of that in a lot of facets of my life. But I think for someone like me, who's always trying to make it better and make it better, sometimes you just have to accept that this is where, like, for me, this is where my head's at, right? This is where I want it to be. This is where maybe people expect it to be. And then if I just let myself chill a little bit, like, it'll still be good, you know? And there's something, I don't know, I think I'm gonna keep the vocals that way and just, it sounds good. Maybe I have demoitis though, and that's the thing that throws me off, is like, demoitis is when you are so used to something that you've been listening to over and over again, maybe your original demo, that you think that that's the best that it can be, but it's just your brain fooling you, because it's like the proximity of, or I don't know if it's proximity effect, but the effect of like repetition, and you end up liking things more when you repeat them. But yeah, I don't know. So I think what I want to end this vlog with is, if you are fixated on something working out or being perfect, why not try once in a while to be okay with just good enough? You know? What would happen? Really, what is the real consequence? For example, when you make a song, and for example, like, maybe I won't... Okay, here's the example. I made this song, Shouldn't You Be Doing Something Too, for this... That's the name of the song. For my old project, Urbanation. And that's probably what most of you know me as. But when I made that song, I didn't mix it correctly. I mixed it, but then when you listen to it, it's not even. I don't know how to explain it. The vocals are... I forget because I haven't listened to it in so long. But anyways, but I just didn't care. I was just like, I put it out. I didn't care. And now it's almost it almost has 2 million plays. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's, plays, plays like don't really matter that much to me nowadays. But I mean, obviously the new songs, I would like everyone to run them up, but all that to say is that people who, if it resonates with people, it will resonate with people. I don't know, people aren't gonna be like, oh, it sounds like they didn't use a Neve 1073 like compressor or whatever, like, this sucks. People aren't thinking like that. They just want, it's if you can capture a feeling, and that's how I feel about those vocals, the scratch vocals that I wasn't sure about, but I think I'm gonna keep, is like, it's the vibe. It might not be the perfect take. There's always gonna be a perfect take in your head, in general, right, with everything. And it's so cliche to say the grass is greener, but sometimes you kind of have to learn from also the people who are kind of churning out work all the time, in a way of like, you can't always just sit on something forever. You just sometimes have to make a decision. And for me, that was that. It's so simple when I put it into like one sentence of like, okay, I decided to keep the scratch vocals, but for me it represents a lot of things in my life, of like learning how to just be like, okay, this is how much I'm gonna think about this, and at one point we're just gonna go this way or that way. And so I think that's something I'm learning, is being decisive and committing. It's like, I think this year, one of my biggest intentions is self-regulation and learning how to calm down and not associate everything with stress and urgency. It's not a flex. I think that people, and even, me, I feel like a certain type of person can really find almost a secret joy in that urgency and feeling stressed all the time and looking busy to people and, being on edge. And it's not a flex. I feel like I'm around a lot of people who can be that way too, and it's such a privilege, obviously, to slow down. I'm not saying that, everyone needs to just like do whatever they want, because that's not reality, but I'm learning that it's not mandatory for me to always be wired. And I think making these vlogs, like long form, is just forcing me to be patient with myself and not always need to like cut all the fat and be, the best I could be, or make the best content, or do it's just sometimes it's just doing something and making something that's good enough. I don't know. I think that's something I've been reflecting on. Okay, so self-regulation and calming down. And then I'm like barely breathing full breaths while I talk to you, which is funny. And then, yeah, the act of being decisive almost as an art. Because if you're gonna sit on something forever, you're never gonna do it. It's never gonna be out, and you owe it to yourself too to realize something that you are proud of and make it known. And that's not to say to rush your work, but I feel like I feel like I have time and time again I have to force myself to not, it sounds like this point conflicts with the last one, but it's more of just like when you're working on something and you can agonize over decisions for way too long. It's just like, let's just, you know what I mean? What's the worst that can happen? If I put out a song and the album art is actually not perfect and I don't, and maybe I hate it the next year, it's like, just figure out how to, you know, I have the metadata of the song, figure out how to change it, like change it, you can change it, you know what I mean? I think remembering too that not everything is so permanent. Maybe I hate these vlogs and I don't want people to be knowing how I think in this intimate way and how I speak and how I look like when I eat. Let's just delete it. And maybe, yes, copies are there out in the open. I don't know. All my stuff is out there anyways. Like, I don't care. I don't know. Life is short. Okay, I'm starting to sound loopy, so I think I'm gonna go, but I hope that this was comforting, and please manifest that I meet Martin tomorrow, that Soph and I meet Martin tomorrow, because, yeah, I think if that happens, then that will restore my faith in the act of going out, and, you know, I think it will probably at least make my month, so please manifest that for me. And yeah, thank you for watching and listening. I hope you have a good night. Bye.